Hello and welcome, Cosmic Quantum Travelers. I hope you're doing well. I know it's been extra super intense these last few days, and that's because the whole dark matter Russia body, our upgrades to the Crystal Sapphira, which is our Crystal Sapphira, androgynous Albion, diamond, rainbow, plasma light body has been fully anchored and is fully online and rolling out in the field now. So that has concluded between the 3rd and the 6th and was a very intense process. Everything really up from the 31st to 1st until today has been rather intense. So again, everybody is moving through this at their own in their own time, because everybody's a slightly different step of their process, and this ultimately happens outside of time. But what I'm sharing is always what's anchoring and becoming available in the field, especially by the Forerunners, and this is then going out to everyone. So whatever I'm sharing are really navigational tips. They are timeless, they're quantum, but then also obviously general cosmic energy update, but they're all helping you to shift your consciousness, which is what is necessary for the shift in realities. Because again, our realities are based on our thoughts and beliefs, that we hold the expectations of our realities. And this is really the programming, that the conditioning that we have been functioning under and have learned from our environment, that then has kept recreating the same realities over and over again. And what we've been really collapsing is all these false light matrices, all the AI, all artificial materials, whether it's in our bodies collectively, as well as in the planetary body, because we are all making up the planetary body together. So it's all been purged. Everything that's false and artificial, that's everything at a mental, emotional, and physical level. It's all of that. And it really all comes back to fragmentation of the soul, and that's what we have been healing. And through these divine union activations, it's really all one and the same: the divine blueprints, divine union, the Crystal Sapphira light body upgrades, the DNA multidimensional upgrades, which are all coming online now as the blueprints have been fully anchored, and the reset between the old and the new blueprints has been fully completed. But what we're still moving through is the washing off of all the residue from our and the planetary fields of the collective shadow body, which is really all of our traumas and wounds that have manifested in various forms of the collective unconscious, and also in things as entities, attachments, demons, and all of that stuff that we have had the fun of dealing with. And what I've really been realizing over the last 3 days is, once we step away from the whole demonization and it's really transcending all sense of separation, and any of this stuff, anything, whether it's entities or the cabal or fallen angelics are outside of us, as we merge with everything, none of this is experienced as an attack anymore. So what I've been moving through was a lot of clearing, a lot of old stuff coming up, a lot of my old self coming up, but I was no longer experiencing it as an attack. And it was literally just my shadow body clearing. And all I was left with was my own, reactions, old patterns, thought forms, belief that really just came up as a last hurrah. And all I needed to do was have full compassion, total neutrality, which was with what was coming up. And really it was more like, ooh, where did this come from? Like, it's a really old part of me. I haven't felt so tense in a long time. So there's a lot of tension, a lot of anger, as these entities are being returned to source and cleared up at the planetary level and also of our fields. But again, at the end, it's really just our wounds and traumas and our patterns, that when we are in a neutral observer space of what comes up for us, pull it all within, we can then see, where does it go back to? So for me, it would be like, not being listened to, not being supported, as I've mentioned before, that then came up with, in my own private life. and was tested. And I could see, though, that, you know, it comes down to, you know, my childhood not being, you know, heard, the needs not being met, these kind of things that we all, you know, have experienced in different ways and forms. And the same then with, you know, now this coming up in different ways. So we can go to the core and then clear this, correct this in our reality, understand why we react or overreact the way we do, to then bring healing into it through the higher perception. Oh, okay, this is just because I learned how to, you know, deal with it that way, but now this is no longer necessary. And then when you have fully loved it all up, understood it, really have to resolve it at the core, then you can move into different reactionary patterns, because you're healing this within your field, within your consciousness, within your morphogenetic field. And this is also part of the nervous system healing and upgrades, where then we do not need to react anymore in fight, flight, or freeze type reactions that are not ultimately helping us anymore. So we've been integrating all of our multidimensional self through all of these triggers in order to unify all of us. And that is allowing us, again, this is part of our multidimensional integration. This is then causing, it's also part of the merging and unifying of all the dimensions, realities, timelines, universes, all as one, along with our multidimensional self. And this hasn't been done before. So this is massive, what we're navigating through. And it's super quantum and it's super fast. And yes, these DNA and light body upgrades and purgings are causing a lot of physical symptoms, because you are purging all of the old programming and templates from your system, physical, mental, emotional, and the upgrades also. You know, your crystallization process hurts a little. So just know it for what it is, move through it without resisting it, because it's the resistance that causes suffering. We can feel pain without suffering. And then it moves through us much more quickly. No, it's part of the upgrades. No, you need to move through this. But obviously, you know, always listen to your own inner guidance, whatever you can do. Or if you need to contact a healthcare professional, you know, that still is the case. It doesn't mean that we don't support ourselves. Far from it. So a lot of self-care, a lot of relaxation to help you clear this all from your body and to shift to a reality where we no longer need to be afraid of anything, because the monsters are dissolving. Literally, they're gone. When you fully have shifted and transcended all sense of separation, that any part of the creation, your reality, is separate from you, that it's somehow outside of you. It's an inside-out creation. And yes, it's a collective one. So it's not all you, but we take full responsibility for our parts of the reality we hold, what we project upon, and we no longer project the evil onto the walls. What we can see are people who are fragmented, soul fragmented, and who are mentally ill. So when you then can have that compassion instead of seeing people as evil or possessed, that brings a whole different dimension to what we're dealing with, brings a whole lot of love and compassion without us needing to fix it as such, or, you know, fix anyone. Again, we can support as and when we are called and how to do that. But we're no longer fixing or running after. We're fully reclaiming our worth. Okay. And we ultimately all have to do this for ourselves. So anything I or other people are sharing, again, is all just here to remind you of what you already know. It's a support, but nobody can do this for us. So we're doing this together as one. This has all been anchored and is available in the field. That's what the Forerunners do. We activate this in our field. We hold the planetary blueprint, and then it's easier for others to pick up on it and make the shifts. And this goes out like the 100 monkey effect, or the 144 monkey effect, out into the field. These new blueprints. We also just had a near X-class flare. Can feel it. And it's all supporting and sealing this in. And we're going to further activate this now also with the lunar eclipse that's coming up on the 8th. I'm offering another remote activation for that day. And again, it's always available in no time, but we will meet at the at 10:30 a.m. UK time on the 8th. Remotely, so it's telepathically the connection in meditation. Please see the link below to the event page in the full description. Read this, because it's also an activation within itself. I will also post it as a separate post on the community page. For those that don't have Facebook access, but if you can and do, please, then choose that you do decide to attend if you do so. So always ask your higher self, is this the right thing for me to do? We will work further on the Lightbody and DNA upgrades, as well as clearing anything that still needs to be cleared at personal and collective level. Okay, because again, we're all at a slightly different stage here. And every little helps. And again, this is helping you to purify, clear, heal, balance, harmonize, and upgrade your whole morphogenetic field, blueprints and templates. And everybody picks up what they are ready for individually. Okay, so we all again have cleared or are able to pick up on different levels of these activations. And they're not just always done once. It's like the clearing. We go through it in layers. Okay, so every time we clear and activate a little more. Clearing, 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 activating, activating, activating. So if you do take part, you are expected to make a donation in order to support my work and what is being offered here, even if it's just €1 or €2, if you have financial difficulties. If you really can't and truly want to take part, you're also really welcome. So don't let this prevent you from taking part. But I do appreciate all and any support, as always, as these are donation based, so you can choose how much you can or are willing, find it appropriate to give back as a form of energy exchange as well. So the details as always are below. And basically, we will be focusing on also the UK grids or the grids in general, okay, bringing online the new plasma rainbow light body at planetary, at personal level, the new grids, especially the rose and dragon grids, and the Michael and Mary grids, and really activating the next level of also the crystalline cities, the crystal cathedral network, and whatever else comes in. So always check with yourself what you're being guided to, maybe in your local area or wherever else, other grid points you may be guided to. There are a lot listed in the list. Don't overthink it. Especially the less experienced ones, just open up to receive. You can listen to a guided activation from my SoundCloud or some other relaxing music or whatever you are being guided to do at the time. Again, it's an hour of remote connectivity where we bring these activations in collectively and anchor them, amplify and focus them in on the field. So let's blast the grids. Let's keep igniting all of this until it's eaten all around us, all ignited from the inside out. And the Forerunners are now we have all the keys and codes collected. They're out in the field. Okay. I'm also being guided to probably do group calls for the 11th and the 22nd, because what I'm seeing, it's a big manifestation, divine union, unity field, portal, and gateway. Our manifestations are super heightened with all of the interference, everything being fully blitzed and cleared, and everything becomes very instant now. So our full focus is super priority right now. My guidance is totally collapse, withdraw your attention from the old realities. Even elections, I would say, they are not a solution, because we're going for not a 3D reality version that we're trying to fix, because it's fully collapsing and dissolving. We're really fully co-creating all new. These are all new organic holographic templates. The old false realities, holographic overlays, false memories, false pictures of reality are all fully dissolving and dismantled right now. And we're completing this process as we are simultaneously activating all new. All right, so everything is there, all the keys and codes we need. We keep activating them. We keep calling forth the new earth realities, and we walk by faith, not by sight. Us activating, believing, tuning into our inner sight, inner intuition, inner wisdom, the visions, the dreams, this is what activates them. Okay, it's not believing when we see it, it's from the inside out. This is why it's so important to be in silence, meditate, tune in what you hear, to activate and anchor yourself and be the change, because the realities are not shifted by our opinions, but by our embodiment. So this whole alignment in our mastery is coming online now, where we're no longer afraid of our environment or needing to protect ourselves. but we are fully emanating our full ascended master self, which we are fully merging with now, the Forerunners, and activate the diamond avatar that I see at planetary level is online and ready to fully show its rainbow colors, and our wings are ready to fly. Okay, we are ready to fly. We are ready to activate our gifts and abilities, and us believing in them and having faith is what activates them, along with our realities and also our memories. Crystal clarity, downloads, it's all coming in, it's all igniting. Keep letting go of the old. Look back also at my last video or two for further navigational tips on how to navigate through this. The flow state of no resistance and absolute neutrality is what dissolves all lower realities, whether it's your own, things you don't like about yourself. You have to love it all up in order to change it, but then you also obviously need to sit with it, because what doesn't feel aligned will keep niggling at you until you have aligned it and corrected it within your own field. Again, the power lies within us. As we shift and change the way we look at things, what we look at changes. And that's what's shifting the realities, all from the inside out. We are the new broadcasting system of the cosmic Christ consciousness. It's going to be coming from everywhere and everything, but we are the broadcasting stations. See yourself as that, and we're overwriting everything false and artificial. Okay, so keep doing this, and that is really what makes the invisible visible. All right, and it's happening. The new light and sound fields are fully online. We're overwriting all of these artificial ones, and it's literally by us tuning into the additional light frequencies that makes the invisible visible, because it's always been there. We just haven't been able to see it. So again, remind yourself of what is really real and not. Try to see beyond the holographic overlays to dissolve them. Okay, keep seeing past what is real, what is not real. Keep trying to see, like, put yourself in other people's shoes. Try to keep transcending any remaining separation that is keeping you from that unity field, because you need to transcend your false ego. It's the same as the false matrix. It's one and the same. You can't fix it with the mental ego self. You need to go beyond it in cosmic consciousness, the Buddhic no mind, where you have recognition and epiphanies, and the cosmic intelligence just flows through and out of you. And it's not you trying to, fix your, the collective psychosis with the mental brain. We just can't do that. It only gets us so far. We have to fully transcend the false ego self to unify with source and all of life everywhere, transcending all separation, which is what every trigger and judgment is helping us do, because it's ultimately just us judging ourselves, and it's us being in separation with self. Okay, so that's what we're seeing now. It's becoming very self-explanatory. So that's why we keep pulling everything within, and that's where we're resolving it. All right. So I hope you can join me for the activation. I'm going to keep this short today. And I might see you again after the eclipse, before the 11/11. And yeah, the magic is here. Believe it. We are making it happen, making our biggest dreams come true by believing in ourselves and one another. Keep opening your heart, because it's the frequency of love that activates your multidimensional DNA, and it is what is healing all. Okay, and to me, again, this comes back to a Supernova of the heart event, which is, again, an inside-out event. We're not waiting for something outside to help save us or, do something for us. It's something we can work on and help make happen as we keep opening our hearts to ever greater levels of love. And this always comes back and springs forth from the self. So this is all about self-love, and that's what dissolves the game. That is what dissolves all the wars. So the last war is one within. And these initiations and tests and intensity is all part of that. And it's nothing testing you but your own consciousness and your own mastery. So if you have that perspective, there's no one doing anything to you anymore, and everything is conspiring in your favor, then you're living in a benevolent universe, and more and more good things will happen to you. Everything aligns, because this is about a frequency of absolutely no fear in our field. There can be no fear. This is basically what we're working on, and it's transcending all distorted polarity that's happening. And don't focus either on we should not feel anger or fear or whatever. No, you need to go into it, sit with it, have a conversation, have a cup of tea, and transcend it. But you don't want to just be like in false positivity and just focus on the good feelings. No, everything is this. Everything is being embraced and alchemized here. We're the alchemists. This is all about transformation, alchemization of energy. How do we work with energy? Everything is energy, frequency, and vibration. Bring this to every situation, person, place, and thing you're in connection with. All of this is this. This is beyond spirituality. This is about consciousness and a constant expansion. And there will always be certain expansion, contraction. There will also always be polarity, but we're integrating it within the 0-point field. That's the Holy Trinity, which brings balance to the polarities, and they're no longer distorted. Because we always have man, woman, this, you know, the electronic, the magnetic, electric, magnetic. All of these polarities will always be, because once you create one thing, you create the opposite. But the distortions, you know, the massive imbalances, the bipolar energies, that is being fully cleared with the reversals and gender divide and splitting technologies and so forth. So this is all about harmony and peace within, and then we have peace without. And it's happening. I can see it. The dove and the swan grids, it's all igniting and activating. These are holographic grids, the diamond grids, 13 dimensional diamond grids, and this is bringing fully online the organic creatrix field, the operational system. It's all online. We're just igniting, igniting. I can't speak until it's fully online. Okay, any moment now. Supernova of the Heart event makes it happen. As we keep opening our hearts, we keep help making it happen. We do our work. It's the inner work, and everything is this. And we don't need to do anything spiritual. It's literally just being super conscious, okay? And becoming now the super conscious co-creators that we know that we are, and that came here to ignite the new realities from the inside out. So nobody's doing this for us. We came to do it, to make it happen on behalf of all, okay? Because that's just our job, and we're doing it for ourselves also. So, and again, divine neutrality, radical even, or take it nuclear, wins the inner war. It really does. The judgment is all part of the fragmentation that we're healing. So see, what are you judging really? And we're transcending all these negative thought forms, beliefs, and doubts, and fears, and insecurities, nervousness, defensiveness, guilt, shame, blame, resentments, gone. Ushanakena sekura ena kerai na tutushkuna tetaya aisha aira ukuna era te iskana tetana yura setera tekina kashkunata sukunateta. So it is done. And with that, the fear programming, thought forms, and beliefs that the old fear matrix was based upon fully evaporates and dissolves. With it, the holographic overlays, false memories, and pictures of realities. And then the heaven opens, the true realities, organic realities are going to become visible. It's happening at the same time, simultaneously. So keep seeing through the illusions to help dissolve them. Fully reclaim your worth, which is opening you up to the abundance now that we're seeking, as we no longer, you know, aligning with things, people, places that are not adding to our happiness and are not good for us. That's what we've learned, and it's part of that. So what we say yes and what we say no to, okay? And these divine union energies are bringing online divine counterpart relationships, and the soul groups are coming together. These monadic activations, also connected to our high heart, are all part of this, okay? Again, our sacred crystal heart is the key to our ascension. If you want to know about any of the terms that might not be familiar to you, I leave a link to Ascension glossary below, where you can search for certain terms. Certain terms also I have expanded upon, like the Emerald Tree of Life. I call it a Cosmic Quantum Emerald Tree of Life, things like this. So maybe look for a short form, okay, if you want to know more. But basically, only the best is good for us now, good enough for us now. We don't compromise on what we know is ours. We have worked hard for. Our harvest is here. All the work we have been doing is paying out now by us believing and knowing, and all the doubt and the worries are fully dissolved now. Okay, I hope you can feel it. If not yet, you should soon, because again, what I'm anchoring here and sharing with you is what comes in and then goes out in the field. And again, this is timeless. So keep quantum jumping, hopping, merging with your already ascended diamond avatar self, fully unified and healed, merging and retrieving all of your soul pieces, soul fragments, soul aspects, all as one, multidimensional self, your soul, oversoul, avatar rishi, and one pure true God source consciousness, all unified as one diamond avatar self. Okay, your ascended master consciousness, source, it's all one now. All these realms and realities, it's all one. We just keep merging until this one now moment in no time where it's just all unified in one singular point in no time. Okay, and all has shifted. And it already has. It's basically, it has already happened. It's just that we're now going to see it fully rolling out, so to say. So relax, as well as keep doing whatever is in front of you. Keep shifting and changing and merging with your highest version of self. And you should be the only person you're in competition with, if anything, okay? Because we're transcending all this, feeling more or less than any other, because we're just doing this side by side, fully equal. No one above or below anyone, because that's the unity field, and it needs to be activated from within, and that only happens when we've transcended all illusions of separation, okay, including envy and jealousy and competition and anger and all of that stuff. But again, it doesn't mean that we don't feel these things. It's just that they alert us to something being out of alignment. So we'll always be feeling, you know, these emotions are helping us. That's why suppression is one of the main issues we need to transcend. Because if we don't listen to our feelings, we don't know when something is off until it's kind of almost too late, and we're really kind of, you know, already in the middle of an experience that we rather not be. So listening to our feelings is the key to our navigation. Okay, it's part of our superpowers, and they're fully igniting now. So you tuning into them, unifying your mental, emotional body, spiritual and physical, is what this is all about. All of your multidimensional self, getting to know yourself is you getting to know God, knowing yourself as God, and that's you at one with everyone, with all of life everywhere. That's divine union. That's ascension. It's happening now. So notice, keep doing the work, keep loving it all up, keep being in divine neutral observer state. That is what collapses all the lower realities and keeps help co-create the new ones, which is also why non-attachment is so important. Yeah, so we are embracing the uncertainty and childlike wonder, because we keep co-creating the future in every now moment. So nothing is set here. That's why, you know, this is a constant fine-tuning process. This is, you know, we love ourselves as we are now, perfectly imperfect, because this is never fully done. There is no perfection. But obviously we're also working towards, you know, the point of the shifts now, making this a lot easier, a lot more fun, because it's all shifting. So the reality is from where we were, basically upside down, to it being based in love, based in bliss, based in unity, based in cooperation and support. And we're calling this in as we emit that frequency of it already being so. Okay. So as believing and knowing is the seeing. You merge with the frequency of these realities, okay, as if it's already so. And you make every word, thought, feeling, belief, action you take align with this. And then everything aligns for you. especially now with all the interference gone. So full focus, bullseye, new organic realities, your new you, love it all up, divine neutrality, dissolve and co-create all new. And we keep making the magic happen. So thank you so much for all your support. Anyone who sent a donation, thank you, thank you, thank you. Anyone who wants to take part in the activation, details are below. And I see you again soon. Until then, keep rising, keep ascending, keep opening up your wings, and be the change that you want to see in the world that makes it happen. So much love. Until next time. Bye-bye.